the second session of Living Our Faith. Prayer as engaging the mystery that is God's presence and God's will at work in the world. There is no right way nor wrong way to pray. In fact, in many ways, all of us will pray in our own unique way. There is a sense, however, and invitation to recognize that prayer is in many ways the bedrock of the very lived Christian experience. We need to be people of prayer. We need to find a way of praying. Prayer in its simplest form really is conversation, dialogue, a way of becoming aware of the presence of God and responding to that presence. Prayer is at the very heartbeat of the people of God. And so the two biblical texts that I draw on for inspiration, one from the Psalms and the other from the beginning of Mark's Gospel, are an invitation to recognize that indeed prayer is important. Right throughout the history of humanity, there have been attempts at prayer. People have sought to respond to that which they do not understand. They have sought to respond to that which has held before them a variety of responses: fear, awe, wonder, might, majesty, glory. And so the Hebrew scriptures and the Christian scriptures are no different. Obviously, this is a basic introduction to the Christian faith. And so I have drawn inspiration from the first chapter of Mark's Gospel, a reminder that our prayer is in response to the kingdom or reign of God. Jesus comes to proclaim the reign of God. Somehow in Jesus we hear an invitation to become participants in the reign of God. We are not the people who make it happen. It happens because it is God's will and God's dream. We are participants in the dream and the drama. And so prayer is absolutely vital for that sense. Prayer opens us up to that which is at the very heartbeat of the Lord's Prayer, which was in one of our earliest sessions. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. As one wise wag has put it, it's all fine and dandy in heaven. The problem is on earth. And so prayer opens us up to the mystery and presence and strength of God as we live out our faith and our lives in this world, here and now. Prayer is participation in the reign of God. Prayer opens us also to the praise of God. In many ways, we as human beings at times, myself included, tend to get a little grumpy. We tend to complain. We tend to become jaded. We tend to become cynical. We tend to see all that is going wrong in the world. Prayer, however, opens us to a transcendent reality, the sheer mystery, the wonder of a love that knows no limit, the open-heartedness that is able to transform our ordinary and daily complaints, which are important, into something of wonder, appreciation for life, a sense of blessing and open-heartedness. Prayer, therefore, invites us to join not only in the action, but in the praise of God. And thirdly, prayer instills within us a hush that is a silence in the presence of God. If you're anything like me, and I hope you're not, but I talk a little bit too much. And so prayer for me has been wordy. I've written prayers, I've expressed prayers, I've danced prayers, I've sung prayers. I've delighted in prayers, I've walked, and generally speaking, I talk to myself, which is, I believe, a valid form of prayer, a way of reminding myself who I am in light of who God is. But prayer is very importantly, and I found this more difficult, the invitation to become silent, the invitation to listen, the invitation to pay attention maybe to a mood, a rhythm, a whisper, an intuition, an invitation to silence. And so to pray is to, in many ways, follow a practice that seems mad. In a world that thrives on pragmatism and action and getting things done and forging our way ahead, we are prepared to be mad, to be mindful, yes, to still our breathing, to focus our attention, to listen. We are prepared to be adoring, whatever draws us into adoration, an image, a biblical text, a scene of nature, a moment in worship, and we are invited to a sense of discipline. Prayer requires practice. The old-fashioned evangelicals used to draw up the word acts: adoration, confession, thanksgiving, and supplication. It can prove a helpful model. But whatever models we use or struggle with, there is an invitation to prayer. To live out our faith demands that at least we explore the possibilities of what it means to struggle with and learn how to pray. We live out our faith by praying. Amen.